Welcome to the True North Speaker Series. We have the awesome opportunity today to interview Chief Shelby Irving. If you guys want to check out her bio, please go to the North Main business page and you get to see all her great accomplishments and the things that she has done thus far. But let's get started. Welcome to the show, Chief Irving.
Well, it's a pleasure.
I'm just so excited. You know, it's one thing when you know somebody, but it's another thing when you read in their bio. And I was like, she did all of this. This is just not the simple basketball coach that I had at Avery University. You did everything under the sun twice. But to get things started, you tell us, who is Chief Shelby Irving?
Well, first of all, I'm not the chief. That's David Coffey. And our department is broken down to a chief, deputy chief, and a division chief, where I'm at that level. So, but we're chief officers. But yes, I'm Shelby Irving. And I was born and raised in Reidsville. And we moved to Danville when I was probably 10, 11, around there. So I've been in Danville ever since, and we were in the county at that point. And so I graduated from Tunstall High School. So,
tell us a little bit more. You talked about you having, it's 7 of you guys. How does it feel to be the youngest of 7?
Yes, youngest of 7, and well, now it's 6, because my older brother passed away. But I like being the youngest because I still think I can tell them all what to do.
I'm the youngest too. It does hold a secret superpower.
They don't pay attention, but you know, I just like to tell them what to do. And then especially when my mom was alive, you know, she kind of babied me a lot, and I love that. And now my sister's doing it. So
wow.
Yeah, my sister's 1 year older. And she's like a mother to me, so I'm
and she's only 1 year older?
1 year older.
So what's the gap between the oldest and you? How many years?
10.
Okay.
It would have been 10.
But the one that's 1 year older took on the mother figure for you. I'm going to see about my sister that's next to me. She probably say, I ain't got the time. Okay. But what was it like growing up in this area in the 60s and 70s?
Well, like I said, when I moved to Danville, it was probably early 70s. And I lived out in the county off of Westover. And we had just a small little neighborhood there. And pretty much it was almost all family.
Wow.
Down on that end of, off of Westover on Woodlawn Drive. And actually, I loved it. It's just like having all those sisters and brothers and cousins around. The more the merrier. You know, a lot of times they say, what's it like? We're having, you know, so many brothers and sisters. You know, if I'd have had 15, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, and then it gets to the point, like with me, I'm the same age as my nieces and nephews. I'm more closer to them in age. And nieces, nephews, cousins, you really can't even tell the distinction between brother and sister when you're around each other so much. And then everybody look alike. I mean, when you're growing up around family, because you're eating the same food, you're playing in the same dirt, so everybody begin to look alike anyway. Mm-hmm. So you don't even build that family bond that really, it is not a title to who you are in my family. We just family. That's the only thing I can explain, that we just family. So what is your greatest memory about downtown?
About
North Main.
About North Main. Well, North Main area has changed a lot. And when I was younger, I remember, you know, with my grandparents, because they lived on the north side off of Adams Street.
Okay.
And we walked a lot. So we would walk up and down North Main, and we would walk across to downtown a lot. My aunts was big Tall's Hammers shoppers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we would walk over sometimes, but catch the bus home. Because we buy some stuff and get me some stuff. You know, we had Tall Hammers, we had Bell down there, Hansburger down there.
Wow.
Everything was in downtown Danville. And yeah, it was nice. I liked, and I still go through the neighborhood now.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of the old houses still there, and most of them people trying to keep up.
Now, growing up, you played high school sports,
yes,
and then you went to college and played sports.
Yes.
Now, I hope there's a lot of young people that also watch this show. How did you balance that? Because that's a lot. You played, now, I know my daughter is playing one sport in college, and she complained all the time about workouts, going to class, studying, you know, lifting. How did you play 2 sports and go to college?
Well, it's a lot, and your coaches become your parents, pretty much. And they want you to play. They want you to stay eligible with your academics. So we had study hall that we had to attend and go to your classes. We had breakfast checks. So if you have an 8 o'clock class and you get up and go to breakfast, you're already up, so you may as well go to class. So they would ask us to take the 8 o'clock classes so we can go to class. And we are out earlier in case we need an earlier practice or some time for road trips where they leave earlier. But it was in me. It was in me. You know, I just like to stay busy.
Yeah.
And I like being busy, and I love playing the sports. And I had a very good coach, a great coach. And I would do anything to stay on the team, stay eligible, and keep my grades up.
Now, how did playing sports shape you into being the professional that you are today? Because I feel like sports can help develop your professionalism. How did it shape you to be the person you are today?
It can. Responsibility,
Yep.
accountability, honesty, everything falls under sports. You know, you're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time. You need to be there. You have something that you need to do. If I need to go in and practice my free throws so I can be a better free throw shooter, I need to go in and do that. So playing sports would teach you a lot about everything. And just like being a coach, is you wear many hats.
Yeah.
So sports could bring a lot. And I like to see our kids around here get involved.
Now, tell me about that, coaching. So I played under you 1 year, and so I know what it's like, but tell everyone else what it's like. What made you want to be a coach, and then made you want to coach at Avery?
Okay, again, I love the game, and it was basketball. I love the game of basketball, and I was head coach there for 2 years. Well, once I went into the fire department, I could only do it part-time. Well, my best friend from college, still one of my best friends, Kathy Bocock, got the job, and it was almost like it was made to be, and she called me back to be her assistant. So I continued on, and I loved the game, and I couldn't play anymore because my college eligibility was up.
Right.
So in order to stay around the game, I got into coaching and officiating both.
Oh, I don't know about the officiating.
Yes, I did. I officiated for many years for Parks and Rec.
Now, how do you handle the parents when you officiate?
Oh boy.
See, you didn't put that in the bio. That's why you didn't put that in the bio. Because that's a whole nother level. Coaching, that's one thing. But official? Well, I'm that parent. That was a bad call, ref.
That's a
bad call. I'm that parent. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Parents like me.
Well, on the the level as in recreational sports, you have parents and they're screaming at you the whole time. They're screaming at the kids. One lady said, "A referee made my son walk." Ma'am, I didn't think he said walk. The kid was young, didn't understand the game. And another game I was refereeing, the kid is on the court and he's crying. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, my dad is screaming at me, telling me to shoot the ball, and my coach is telling me not to shoot the ball. And so that's a lot for a kid. And I said, "Son, right now you got to do what your dad tell you to do, because that's who you're going to. That's who you're going to have to ride home with." But in all honesty, and to parents out there, when they're on the court, let the coach them, because if your coach tell him not to shoot right now and he starts shooting, he's going to be out of the game.
He's going to be out of the game.
And then you're really going to be mad that my son is not in the game. So let the coach them.
Okay, so what's your coaching style?
Well, I'm pretty tough. I don't like that's good enough attitude. And when I practice, I want to run the plays, run the offense and defense until we get it right. I want to make sure it's right. I want to make sure you know it. And so I'm pretty strict on that. And I like the kids to enjoy it and have fun, but you're not going to have fun when you're losing. So you got to work hard to do the things you need to get to be happy.
So I came in on a different side because Coach Bocott, she gave me a hard time. She changed my position, and I had never lift weights. I was one of those athletes, I just could do it.
Yeah.
And she started making me lift weights and everything, and he was like, you can do it. You can figure it out. So to hear that you was a rough coach, I must have came in on the later years. I was behind the scenes. He was the one telling, get on.
I can't believe you let them do that. Yeah, do this, don't do that. So she was getting all the bad stuff and I was behind the scenes.
Okay, so that's the difference between the head coach and the assistant coach. Because I was like, help me. You was like, you just gotta do it. You'll get better. Keep trying. Keep going at it. You can do it. What's your most memorable game though as a coach? What's that one of the games that you never forget?
I think it's when we beat Methodist College, and we were what they call it, the toilet dwellers.
Okay.
We were always on the bottom, pretty much.
Okay.
And Methodist was a very good school, and we beat them at home. And boy, that coach was storming out of there, and that was just, I'll never forget that no one predicted us to come up and beat one of the top teams in the league.
Now, was it like a close game or was it a blowout?
It was close.
Okay. Y'all, was it a buzzer beater?
No, it
okay.
buzzer beater. Yeah, one buzzer beater. So when it got down to 5 seconds and they had to score like 7 or 8 points.
Oh yeah, you got it then. Yeah,
we got it then.
What's that moment like? Because I know what it's like to have that win or whatever, but tell the people what that moment is like as a coach to get that win that it's still to this day you remember it. What it's like?
Well,
what's that emotion?
Just seeing the joy on the faces of the kids that are playing that know that they could. Everybody was, they're not going to win. I'm not going to the game, things like that. And just knowing that they could and believing in them and getting them to believe in themselves that they could. At halftime, we were right with them.
Yeah.
It was going back and forth at halftime. But when it got to the point that we started pulling away a little bit, just knowing that we were going to win that game. I kind of like to know, and they said, winning and losing. Well, if I'm gonna lose, I want to know ahead of time. I don't want to get down to that little nail biter thing if I know, and then I can start looking at what I need to work on.
Yeah.
The reason we're losing by 10 or 12 points.
Yeah.
We need to work on our press a little bit more. We need to work on somebody on another position and ball handling.
So when you a coach, what did you look at? Because I think a lot of times kids talk about they want to play college ball or they want to go to the league and they want to play overseas, but I don't think they fully understand the work. I think they look at the game and they see it, but they don't really understand the work that is involved.
It takes, yes.
What are you looking for when you say, I'm gonna try to recruit that player? Because the nowadays especially, it's just plethora. You can put out a YouTube video and get likes, but what are you looking for when you say, I want to recruit that kid? I want that kid to play on our team. Bring that kid to my team, to my home, be responsible for that kid. Like you said, what is it that you want to recruit the player to invest in that player?
Well, that's a little bit like what I'm doing when I'm recruiting firefighters.
Okay.
Softball. So softball as well. I want the kid that's walking around with a glove in a pocket. She has a softball hat on or shirt on. Same thing with a firefighter. I know where their heart is. I know what they love to do, first of all. This kid wants to play. Their heart's in it. They want to be here. And especially on the Division III level, because we're not talking about money.
Right.
That's the big thing. But I would tell kids in hospitals to practice, not just during the season, year-round. They need to work on their diet. That's important. Too much sugar and salt, staying up late at night. Get that body in shape to where they can play year-round. The academics is very important because a college coach really don't want to spend time on a kid that they may lose to academics anyway.
Right.
So they want to keep the grade up, and kids are gym rat. Like to be in the gym. The others are out there, partying and doing this, that, and whatever. The kid's sitting there practicing his free throws, practicing his layup, working on his weak hand.
Yeah.
On the strong. Those are gifts that I like.
And it's mentioned that you said the grades, and we talk about D3. I know for a fact, if you want to play college ball, and I know everybody can't play D1, you know, so if you, and nowadays with the trading pool being open the way it is, a lot of kids don't go in at D3 a lot more than they used to back in the day. Your grades could be the difference of a scholarship, because I might can't give you this athletic scholarship, but I got these academic scholarships that will still take the weight off your parents far as what they have to pay for you to go to school.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing as a D3 coach that you have to look at, like, hey, I got this academic money for you right here for you that's available, but you got to have the grades to be able to qualify.
Exactly.
You know, I know a lot of coaches talk about, well, you only need this GPA to play college ball. Yes, you might get the low GPA to play college ball, but are you the funding out there for it? Because that makes a difference. And as a coach, I'm gonna say, if you can't even invest in your grades, how are you gonna invest in the sport? You know,
and that's going to come back to get you once you graduate, because those loans have to be paid. If you're watching the news now, the president want to do one thing, Congress, you know, no, we're not paying. And you come out of college and, you know, you owe $500,000, $400,000, and your first job, you're only making $50,000.
right.
That's a lot. So you want to get all the money you can going in. And there's so many scholarships out there. And it doesn't have to be academic. It doesn't have to be athletic. There are a lot of clubs in town that give scholarships. $5,000 here, you know, $15,000 there. That adds up.
Yeah.
Because you can use it for your books or whatever you need. So I would suggest to students to start applying for any and every scholarship they can get, and you know, start thinking. I was at one of the schools the other day, and I'm asking kids. As a matter of fact, we're at Career Choice in Chatham. What do you want to do after school? What do you want to do? And I hear a lot. I want to go to NFL. I want to go to the NBA. And you know, I said, well, it's thousands of you out there. And right now, you're the big fish in your school.
Right.
But when you get to college, it's a lot of big fish.
Yeah.
So you got to set yourself apart. You know, you got to practice. You got to study. You know, you got to learn the game. You got to know the game. At your age, you can look at the game while you're watching the NBA or NCAA.
Right.
Be a coach.
Right.
You know, why is the coach making this move? Why does he take this player out? You know, all that you can learn. And when I was in college, I would look at it that myself and Kathy, we were like coaches on the floor because we knew the game.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's switch it up. What made you want to become a firefighter?
Oh, how did I know that was coming?
Maybe the uniform?
No, a lot of people ask, you know, what made you become a firefighter? No, I didn't grow up watching, I guess it was a Squad 51 or whatever it was. I didn't go out to the woods and set fires and all that. I had no clue coming out of college. So my degree was in recreational leisure services. I had a minor in psychology. And when I graduated, I worked for Danville Parks and Rec.
Wait a minute, hold on. I know we're talking about being a firefighter, but you played 2 sports in college.
Yes.
Had a major and a minor. Y'all heard that?
Yeah.
So, Josiah, I want to hear about you and can't do your homework. You had a major and a minor.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So once I got out, I worked for Danville Parks and Rec, and I started at Green Street, and I was part-time. So I'm living at home with mom and dad, eating their food, on their insurance. It's all good. So it comes to a point in time that, you know, your mom would say, it's time to break your plate. You know, that means it's time to go to work. And I was working with a great person down at Parks and Rec, Lucille Harrison. And we were in the gym, we were playing basketball, working out. And she was telling me about the city annex, and they were going to hire for the police department, fire department. She said, why don't you go try out? I said, okay, I'll go try for the police department. So I went for the interview, and I was working at Green Street Park. And they asked me a lot of questions, but most everything they asked me was about working over at that park. So I didn't get the job, and I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? So someone told me, said, you were too close to Green Street. At that time, a lot was happening there. So it might not have been a fit for that. So I applied for the fire department as well. And so this was taken on a bet. I bet you won't do it. You won't do it. You scared. You chicken. I got 5 brothers just to throw me around. So and I'm not scared of anything. So I did. And the first day they called me to come do the agility test. And it was cold outside. It was kind of like snowing a little bit, raining. I said, I'm not going. They're not going to hire anybody. I'm not even going. The next day, the human resource manager called me that night and asked why I didn't show up. I said, well, you guys are not going to hire a female anyway, especially not a black female here in Danville. And I'm going this spiel about the last captain of the Confederacy, all that stuff. And he said, well, how do you know who told you that? Who told you that? And I said, I just don't think, you're going to hire a female. He said, well, would you come tomorrow and try the agility test? I said, well, what time? He said, either 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And I said, well, let me come at 9 because all my children come on at 1. So my mother didn't hear this conversation.
That could be want to break the plate.
So I went at 1 o'clock. I got myself at 1 o'clock. And then I was coaching at Avery as well. And I was running every day with the guys and girls and working out. And I was in very good shape at that point. So I go up there, and again, it's sleeting a little bit, and it's cold, and it's raining. In the fire world, you go outside and work no matter what the temperature is. Because the fire is not going to come when it's a perfect day.
Exactly.
So I went out, and the first thing one of the guys said, you're going to have this seat and sit right here because you're not going to make it. There's no way you can do this. And this guy is coming to be a firefighter too, as well. So I said, I can't even believe he said that to me. You're not going to make it. You're a girl. You're not going to make this thing. So, I'm walking around getting ready to do it. And I went over. They had to take your blood pressure and all this. So I'm sitting down. And if you know who Phil Knight is, the Nike guy.
Yeah.
Rita Nike. So I'm looking at my shoes, and all I could think of is just do it.
Just do it.
It's just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I've got to do this. I've got to show this guy that I can do this. So they called me up, and we started the agility test. We're running. We're going up the top of that ladder. We're pulling a hose up through the window and let it down, come back down, go up the ladder, 100 feet ladder. And I was like about to have it. And, I was really, really tired. So when I finished, I saw the guy over on the corner, and he was just losing his breakfast. The one that told me to sit down.
Yeah.
So I walked by him, and I'm just walking like I can do this again if they asked me. If they said run over there, I can get $5 million. I'd have been had. So after that, I started going through other parts. It's a process to become a firefighter. And I started meeting other guys and, liking the guys, knowing the guys, having fun with them. And, getting ready to start 37 years later, I'm still here. And it's a lot of it's the guys I've worked with.
Wow.
Coming to work every day, they make my day.
But what is it like being the first? Because some people, that's a big thing.
Well,
being the first, the first female, being a black female, and then the last capital of the Confederate. How does that work?
Well, when I started, some said, I give her a week, I give her 6 months, she won't make it, she won't stay there. And it was 30 of us that started out. I was called a Ninja Turtle because we wear those packs on us going to a fire, the air packs, and just all kinds of stuff. And I was like a novelty, people coming out, that's the girl over there, that's the little one over there. It was, sometimes it would hurt your feelings, and sometimes it'll make you want to do more and just go more. And I didn't look at it as being the first female. I didn't look at it as being black. It was, as a job that I really wanted to do to turn out to be a career for me.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I would do it again, all over again.
Now, how tall are you?
5'4" on a good day.
When you first started, what did you weigh? Do you remember?
I probably was around 120, 30.
And they don't adjust the equipment for your height and weight. So no matter what size you are, the equipment, everything is the same.
Everything's the same, and it is today. It is today. Just because you're short or just because you're small in stature, everything's the same. The only thing that's better now that the gear, it can be tailored to your size.
Yeah.
When I came in, my stuff was rolled up, my pants was rolled up, everything was too big. You know,
Wow.
there was no, you know, women, I wore a size 7.5 or 8. You know, my shoe was a little large, but I got through it. You know, we got through it. They made some adjustments for me. I had a great captain, great chief, everybody. But yeah, they not, you know, you got to do the job, but you got to think. You got to be smart. That's the thing. You got to be smart. And to be a firefighter, it's not all about the muscle. It's using your head too.
Right. And right now, currently, you're the highest ranking African American officer in Danville.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for your service. That's all I can say is thank you for your service.
I just love what I do. I love the people in Danville, and it's nothing that I won't do for them. I would go to the end of the world if I can help somebody, just, you know, to make their day better. I want to take care of what God put here, His people.
Yeah.
I want to do all I can, and I work long hours, many days. A lot of people say, "Oh, I never seen you in your own clothes." Okay. When I go somewhere, because I work a lot.
Yeah.
My work, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I tell students often, pick a career that you're going to enjoy. Don't chase money.
Right.
Because you'll make a lot of money, you'll go home, you'll be unhappy, you'll be just biting at your wife and at your kids, and it'll break your household up. Enjoy what you're doing. If you like cars, be a great mechanic.
Right.
You know, whatever you like doing, do it well and enjoy it. So I enjoy what I do. I was blessed,
Right.
you know, to pick up the fire department and the people that I work with to make me enjoy it.
I know, because but I don't even know how to fathom. How do you navigate in that space? Maybe you don't think about it, but how do you navigate in the space knowing that you carrying the baton of being the first? Do it make you want to set a higher standard? You know, how do you navigate in that space?
I just want to do my job and do it the best that I can, and to give all of me, and hopefully maybe somebody else out there see it and want to do the same.
You do a lot of stuff in the community. Yeah. And I know community is important to you, because anytime I talk to you, you talk about, well, I just came from this, I just came from this. So I know it's important to you, but tell us, what exactly is the Community Risk Reduction Director?
Okay, that's new in our fire department.
Okay.
Actually, it's new in all fire departments. We are an accredited fire department, Class 1 ISO, which that means that we're only one of probably maybe 100 or less.
Wow.
In the nation.
Wow, in the nation.
In the nation. So we are very good at what we do, and that's our training. You know, it's a lot of our training, our equipment, our stations, that's everything. So now, to be accredited like that, they've added another component, which balances off of the fire marshals and public education. So they reassigned me out of the fire marshal's office to community risk reduction. And what that is, to identify risk in the community and try to reduce those risks. And that comes from a lot of the calls our guys go on. We do a lot of lift assist, you know, helping people that have fallen out of bed. So one morning I was on my way to work and I heard a call come in. So I met the guys over at the house. And it was simple. The reason the lady kept falling out of bed, she was wearing a satin gown. So you know how slick satin
Yeah.
is. So when she get up and turn around to try to go to the bathroom, she would slide out of the bed. So I spoke with her caretaker, said, let's try putting her in something different.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been back over there.
Wow.
You know, that's that small. A lot of times we do community walks along with the police. I'll see things, sidewalks having cracks in them, their steps need to be adjusted, and handrails could cause them to fall and get hurt, things like that. I started, a risk assessment, seeing what are the causes. Our guys going on here a lot. As you know, unattended cooking It's the #1 cause of fires in the United States, and most certainly here in Danville. So I do a lot towards trying to prevent those with our smoke alarm program, our fire stop program, canvassing door to door, making sure they have batteries in them, putting new batteries in them, changing them out if they need to be changing out. But anything's going to create something like that. Even the weather, we put out things on weather, what to do, if tornado and storms. We've had some straight line winds to come in, just notifying people and being conscious of things like that.
So with the smoke detector program, they just call and you guys go out and check their smoke detector?
If someone needs a smoke alarm in the city, they could just call us and we'll make an appointment to go to their house and put it in for them at no cost.
No cost?
At no cost. We've been doing that now since 1999. And if I'm correct, I think we have probably 42 homes where probably about 9 or 10 that have had fires, and we've had smoke alarms in them, and the smoke alarms activated in order to get the people out of the house.
Wow.
So they work. And the new thing we have out now is called the fire stops. It looks like the size of a can of tuna, and it has a magnet on it, and it has like a wick from a candle on the outside of it, and you have a vent hood over your stove, and you have a burner in the front, a burner in the back. Well, that little magnet, it sticks right in the middle. So if you would have the fire on the front of the stove or the back, and once that flame get up and reach there and burn that wick, that can is going to open up, and it's going to put out the same thing that's in a fire extinguisher, and it's going to put it out. I've seen them work many of times. They do work. And we've been going out, giving those out. So this is Fire Prevention Month in October. So I will be doing the street canvassing, door to door, knocking on doors and see who needs new smoke alarms and who needs fire stops.
And they free?
Free. Those fire stops would cost you about $70 for a pair. They're very expensive. Chief Duffer wrote a grant and got a grant, and we have a lot of them.
Wow. Okay. So just to flip it up a little bit, tell us about that television show that you used to do. What is it called? Firewatch?
Firewatch, yes. I did that show for I don't know how many years. It was many years. And that was the Radio City TV with Mark Aaron. Okay. So now you know that Mark's doing a lot of live.
Yeah.
But my deputy chief asked me to bring something like that back to where we can do it live. So I'm going to start back with that.
Okay.
And that was a great show. It was very informative. We would go out on the scene of a fire. If they had a fire last night, today when we come in, we would go out and we would show people why this fire started. And we would go inside and show you the damage, what it looked like, with permission from the
homeowner.
And hey, they left something on the stove, and this is what happened. It's why it burned here and there. We get new equipment in to show our new equipment. Just some of the programs, like our smoke alarm program, things that we're giving away, prevention, like going to the schools. Every month I had something different to offer.
Wow.
The show ran probably 2 to 3 times a day, and that was a great show.
Yeah, y'all got to bring that back.
Yeah, we like to bring it back.
Yeah, the community need that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you always been a leader, and everything you talked about, being the first or coaching, is pretty much leadership roles. What does leadership mean to you?
Well, leadership, and first of all, you got to be dedicated and committed. You got to have those, because if you don't show up, you don't do what you're supposed to, how are you going to expect anybody else to follow on? So that means to me to get out and do something that's going to help somebody else, to turn around, to see what their needs are, to help them, to do all the things that I want somebody else to do, and be a good person out front, in front of them, not to ask anybody to do something that I'm not willing to do myself.
Okay, so with all the work that you're doing, everything, being the first, all these legacies that you leaving behind, how you passing that baton? Well, we had a fire academy, a citizens academy back in the spring. Chief Smith brought her in. He's one of our new chiefs there.
deputy chiefs, and so he came up with a academy, and we had 3 females in it, I think.
Okay.
It just introducing them to the fire and the fire side of it, and just let them see what we do and why we do it, and hopefully if we're gonna do it again and get more females in that way. And I try to be out in the community as much as I can, talking with males and female. We want good people,
Right.
and hopefully we'll get some, because the fire service is growing with females.
Okay.
Yes, it's growing leaps and bounds. I go to a lot of conference or talk to other friends. There's lots of firefighters that are female in there. A lot of them come in because they want to be EMTs and things like that, and they would get on the fire side. And then they'll develop that love for the fire department. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And y'all work a lot together with EMTs, the police department. So y'all all one unit.
We're all public safety, I would say.
Yeah.
You go to a scene, you're gonna see the 3 of us there
Okay.
all the time.
And y'all have to work together. So
We do work together, because if you don't, you start clashing.
Yeah.
The police have a certain place they need to park for us. The life-saving crew, they're gonna come in, and they are there for us as well as the victims there. So they check us to make sure that our blood pressure is correct and we're not overheating, things like that. So yeah, we all work together.
And people talk about a lot that in the community about collaboration, and it's something that they could just mimic what you guys do, because I don't think people really understand it, how you all have to work together. Like, who would have thought you have to park in a certain spot?
Right. Because we need them to park, to block the road for us. We don't want people running on us. And sometimes we need the police officer there, because we got to get people from running back into their homes trying to grab something. They're excited.
Yeah.
And I understand what they're trying to do, but they got to know it's dangerous.
Right.
And we try to get them out. A lot of times we have to get them to the police to calm them down. For that reason, the life-saving crew, the same thing, to administer some type of medical care to us and the people involved. Car accidents, the same thing. We all go to the car accidents, and any emergency that's gonna for our needs, we go together. Training together. They just did a big training scenario. I think it was at Bonner, and it may have been on an active shooter drill. And the life-saving crew was heavily involved, police and us together.
Wow.
Because these things, heaven forbid, it would never want to happen, but it can happen.
Right.
These things, you have a Walmart shooting.
Right.
So we got to know what the police is doing. The police needs to know what we're doing. You have to work together and make sure we don't get hurt trying to save somebody else.
You received a lot of awards. Starting back in 1996, you got an award for Outstanding Young Firefighter of the Year. What did that award mean to you?
Oh, I thought I was somebody. You said outstanding young, and I didn't know anything about it. Chief Lampley, I won't forget it. He called me and asked him, "Hey, would you like to go with me and my wife to dinner tomorrow? Like, it's a meal." Yes, I'll go with you. And I was working that day, and he came by the station and picked me up. And we went up to the VFW hall, and I didn't know why I was there. So I get in there, and I see my family in there, and I'm still after lunch, what's going on. And finally, he told me why I was there. And it meant a lot to me, because my chief picked that award for me. And,
wow.
And I hope they had a good reason that I was trying to do my job the best I could to select me for that.
Another award that you received, looking at your bio, was the Ruby Archie Excellence in Leadership Award. Knowing how legendary she is, her bio stands within itself. If you don't know who she is, you need to Google Ruby Archie. But what was it like to get that award? Because that's a different side of the heart when you get that award.
I got it twice.
Look, she had to let me know. Wait a minute. I got it twice.
Ruby Archie was a tremendous leader in this community. She was a teacher
right
here in the city, and she was on city council meeting, And if you know Ruby Archie, she was serious. I did not have her as a student, but a lot of her students say Miss Archie was going to make sure that when you leave her classroom, you understood what she was teaching to make you better for tomorrow.
Right.
When she was in the local government, she was the only female in there for a long time. And she stood up with those men in there, and if she had a disagreement, you knew it. But her disagreement was done the right way.
The right way.
I attend council meetings a lot. And, when she was there, and I still attend, and it meant a lot to be thought of the same as Ruby Archie.
Right.
And hopefully on my bucket list is to run one day.
Okay. Y'all heard it here. Speaker Series. You heard that first here. Remember that. Okay. And recently in 2022, you was awarded by the NAACP for the Woman of the Year.
Yes.
So it's Firefighter of the Year, now the Woman of the Year. So tell me, Superwoman, what did that feel like?
That was great. And again, I didn't know anything about it until it happened.
Wow.
I was surprised with that, and that meant a lot as well. There are so many women in the city that's worthy. There are so many that you could only give, just here and there. But there are a lot of great women out here doing a lot of good things in this community. And I assure you they're going to come up. You get it. But it meant a lot for somebody to think of you in that capacity.
Yes. I mean, you work hard. You earn
I do. Well, I do. I'm on so many boards. I tell people I don't know what time I'm going to get home tonight. They just asked me to join another board the other day. And, if I was to say I had a weakness, it would be to say no.
Yeah.
And I just think about it, well, it's just going to be, this little bit. It's just going to be this little bit. And I just try to do and give that for some reason somebody else is going to get some help.
Yeah, because that do lead into my next question. You serve on a lot of boards. And it's one thing for community engagement, but civic engagement, that's a whole nother level when you start talking about civic engagement. Tell me what civic engagement means to you when you go to those boards and your decision could lead to a nonprofit stand, open or close. You have to look at their funding, hold people accountable, whether it's in the boardroom with you or different things of that nature. What does that boardroom mentality, that's a whole nother level. What does that mean to you?
And these boards, nonprofits, some of them are, some of them are not. And, being on a nonprofit, first of all, I told someone this morning, when you're on a nonprofit, prepare to work.
Yeah.
Because that nonprofit is there, prepared to work. And, I just want to make sure that they can get the funding that they need I'm God's storehouse.
Right.
God's storehouse. And right now, they need volunteers, big time. During COVID, they lost a lot of the volunteers that didn't come back. A lot of them were like retirees.
Yeah, they were
retirees. But in order just to be able to help serve the people that they serve down there every day coming in for the food pantry. Just being a part of that board, just saying that I'm doing something in this community to be able to allow to somebody to have a meal tonight. That's one of them I'm on. I just left the Boys and Girls Club this morning on a safety meeting.
Yeah.
Did a walkthrough to make sure that place is safe when parents drop their kids out there every day, and working with the staff there. That's another on DPCS.
Right.
And then with Pennsylvania Community Services, we know the people they serve there. And just making sure that, if they're budgeting, that they're doing the right thing, that serving the clients there. And Jim Bebo runs a great ship. He has a great staff over there. And that's another, and they go on and on.
Yeah,
DCC,
they got
bread. Probably the why I'm on the board. We having a pancake breakfast this Saturday morning, so come out and get some pancakes.
We can market that since they're in the River District. We can market that one.
Yes, okay, you did market that one.
Yeah.
That's a great board.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that they serve a lot of children with the scholarship program. And that's near and dear to me because I want these kids in Danville to learn to swim.
Okay.
That's, we're getting the water parks in, but still, we need to have some swimming here in the city.
Yep.
We lost a young man last year right at the end of the school year down at the river. Then another one drowned down at High Cove, which was one of our guys here in the city. So that's big.
Yeah.
They have swimming pools here. They're private pools. So some of the kids just can't get to them. So hopefully one day, and it's one of my things to push if I ever get to council, that we will have a public pool here in the city, because it's needed.
I agree.
It's absolutely needed. Floods come up on us. I can't remember back several years we had the flood. The lady drowned.
Hurricane Michael.
Yeah, things like that. It's just a lot. And water is fun, but it can be unfriendly.
Yeah.
We have the river running right through the middle of our city, and I would like to be able to utilize that, but people need to know how to be careful around that river.
Yeah. You do a lot of work in your church, and you talk a lot about your faith, but one of the things that really stood out to me, you held 32 years. You've been a financial secretary, financial treasurer for your church. How does your faith play a part in everything that you do in life?
Everything that I do. My father was a minister.
Oh, okay.
My brother a minister, and my sister in the ministry. So I guess a little bit rub off on me somewhere. But I love my church, and I know what being faithful there to my pastor, Brother Perry, in my church is just something I've been in that again, whatever I can do at my church to help, I'm going to do it. So I've served in the financial office, the usher board, Sunday school, and go to Christian education, Bible study, and I've been slack here the last couple of weeks because I've been having some meetings and things go on. But we do it online. So I can go back and catch it online. And on Sunday morning, I video it from my phone on by Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So our church, and it means a lot in my faith. I wouldn't be able to do anything without my faith and my prayers, And I pray and I ask God to let me do His will.
Okay.
What He would have me to do, who He would have me to be. And just by being obedient means a lot. And I know if it hadn't been for God, I wouldn't be where I am today. There's no way, He's answered. And I'm not speaking of a microwave answer. That's what I always say. He's always on time. It might not come when you call Him, but He's always on time.
Yeah.
And my faith is strong. And sometimes it gets a little challenging. It gets a little challenging when the devil is out there, and he's out there to do his job. And it gets on me a little bit, and I have to check myself.
Yeah.
I have to check myself. And sometimes I want to roll out something, and I'll say, Jesus loves me to keep from doing it. But I'm just so blessed. I am just so blessed.
Yeah, because even when I was interviewing Kit, it puts me in the mind of you too. I've never seen you upset.
Huh?
I mean, I haven't even heard you hum that Jesus loves me. So I knew that had to come from something, and a lot of times with people, it had to come from something bigger than them. So I do think that is important, and it shows on you. Your faith shows on you. And I think it takes a lot to be the first. We talk about that. It takes a lot every time you answer a call, because even though it's your job, when you show up and you see them flames, you don't have to enter.
Yeah.
I mean, what can happen? The only thing they can do is fire you. But somebody on the other side, life could depend on it. Yeah. And you chose every time.
Mm-hmm. And now I don't have to go to fires like now. But Lord Baptist, they had the fire a couple of weeks ago. And I had to be there.
Yeah.
I've been to that church. It's historic.
Yeah.
And I know that organ in there. Oh, no. And I kept saying, we got to get that organ. We got to get that organ out of there. And they were so appreciative. And our guys fought really hard to keep that thing from burning the roof off of it, and did a pretty good job. And some good people at Lower Baptist. I'm very thankful for what we did. And, with go to fires, after a fire, now that I don't have to go, but the next day, I'm probably going to call those people and find out, are you okay? What do you need? Do a follow-up to make sure that, they have somewhere to go. Do I need to go to God's storehouse and get an emergency box of food until they can get something? Calling the Red Cross. Red Cross is another one of my favorites. They help out a lot. They will, put them up for a few days, because a lot of times they don't know these things. And the guys on the fire scene, they will call the Red Cross, but the next day, usually I'll call the people and follow up with them.
And don't have to.
I don't have to. But it's who I am. What I've been doing, since 2004. I got into the fire marshal's office, and I just always do it. The chief, and he'll say, well, we got 2 fire marshals, whatever, here and here. Mr. Reynolds will call me if something's going on in the community. He sent me an email, called me the other day to check on a lady to make sure that she was okay. Her ceiling fell. And yes, sir, I can do that, do a follow-up and make sure. So,
when do you rest? And what is self-care to you? Because that's got to be important now.
Well,